Hello teachers, how are you today? Good afternoon and welcome to this session of a Good Practice Day. We are celebrating today the opportunity of being learning together, you and us, how to improve our knowledge and tools to give a better chance for children or students that are in the vocational area. So today you are going to show some of your best practices that you did during this year or during the last workshop that was last year. We are very proud of the impact of our initiative, have been evolving and touching more and more teachers and students for the most necessitated people in the country. So we are doing this work with our partner, which is British Council, and also with the opportunity of being working with Yale University. So I want you to enjoy this and get the better from the people that are going to show their works. And of course, the chance of seeing you again in other workshops in the future. Now, Mrs. Catherine Hatter is going to give you some welcome words to this workshop again. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Marco, and good afternoon to everyone. Welcome. On behalf of the British Council, it's also my great pleasure to welcome you to today's Good Practice Day. So as Marco was explaining, and just to give you a little bit more background, in January 2020, British Council and the English Opens Doors program began to collaborate to support the 700 English teachers that work in almost 1,000 technical professional high schools throughout Chile. And this collaboration is very much in line with the Ministry of Education's prioritization of the technical professional sector. Building on the foundation of the training that we conducted during 2020, British Council, with the support of the United Kingdom's Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office and the UK's Embassy in Chile, and in collaboration with Ptp, offered a specialized training program to 25 of these technical professional English teachers, 25 of you, with NILE, as Marco mentioned, which is a renowned UK language and teacher training institution that presented the strongest proposal for this course. So this course combined both theoretical knowledge and practical classroom application about how best to integrate the teaching of English and specialized technical training, in this case using the CLIL methodology, and CLIL stands for Content and Language Integrated Learning. So today you're going to be hearing from 3 of your colleagues and 3 of the course participants and how they have been able to incorporate the information they learned into their teaching practice. The United Kingdom has supported this course as part of its wider interest in contributing to the improvement of the teaching of English in Chile, as well as the other 3 member countries of the Pacific Alliance, which are Mexico, Colombia, and Peru. And we may have some Peruvian colleagues joining us today, so I'd like to also wish them a very happy Bicentenario. We hope that colleagues who have joined us from the English network of the Pacific Alliance will be able to learn from and also to share their own good practice in the area of English teaching and learning within the TP context. We will also be circulating a summary report that Silvio Retoroli has prepared as soon as it's finished. And there are some additional resources that we can share with you through the chat and through the links that are on the British Council's website with the invitation to today's event. So very briefly, and before handing over to Alicia, I'd like to just say some thank yous to the FCDO and the UK Embassy in Chile for all of the support, to Mineduc, English Opens Doors, and of course to Marco and to Isabel, who is the leader in the TP context, to Silvio Retoroli, who is a constant source of support and inspiration for all of us, to our 3 presenters, very brave presenters who are going to be sharing their experience with you, Paulina, Miguel, and Carolina, and to my British Council team, Deborah, Alicia, and Yvonne, who have made this happen. And then finally to all of you for participating today and to exchange information and knowledge with your colleagues about the experience of participating in this course and teaching English in the TP context. So thank you very much y espero que aprovechen mucho la jornada de hoy. Gracias.
Thank you, Catherine, and welcome everyone again to Good Practice Day. Let me introduce now the presenters today. And the first one is actually the teacher trainer for the three participants today, Silvia Retaroli. Silvia Retaroli is a teacher of English and a teacher educator. She has been involved in curriculum design at the jurisdictional, national, and international level. Silvia has been in charge of the design and implementation of a large number of professional development projects, both in the face-to-face and in the online modalities in Argentina, Brazil, Chile, Uruguay. Silvia has participated in research programs, and from 2008 till 2016, she was the Foreign Language Certification Coordinator for the Ministry of Education, City of Buenos Aires, Argentina. Since 2009, Silvia has been in charge of training and mentoring English teachers, teacher educators, and e-moderators for the British Council. In her role of academic consultant for the British Council in Chile, she has co-designed and implemented professional development programs such as Teachers Academy, Mentoring Program, TP Program, and Pedagogical Leaders Program, among others. So Silvia now will provide a summary of the CLIL initiative. Over to you, Silvia.
Thank you, Alicia. Thank you, and welcome everybody to this new Good Practice Day. Thank you, Alicia, for your help. There is the presentation. But before we plunge straight into the report of this wonderful project, let me let the Peruvian colleagues, I can see there are some over there in the chat, and Colombian colleagues, let me tell them about the English Opens Doors program. This is an initiative supported by the Chilean Ministry of Education. The program that was created in 2003 with the purpose of improving the level of English to students between 5th grade and 12th grade throughout the Chilean public school system. It provides teacher training, instructional and materials, language competitions, English immersion camps, semester abroad scholarships for students at university and for teachers. So this plan, this big program, has been enriched for many years by the different joint projects that PIAP embarked in with the support of the British Council in Chile. At this stage, then, we are talking now about the English at technical professional schools and how this has been enhanced by the new programs. Technical schools, though, maybe we need to talk about them, offer specialized tuition to 150,000 students in 946 schools in Chile. Around 700 English teachers are in charge of delivering English lessons to those students. PIAP then aims at delivering training courses to all English teachers who are working in technical schools. This is the good news. And apart from having access to these training courses, TP teachers have of late had access to a series of booklets to teach English for specific purposes, specially designed by the PIAP team. So let's talk about the program then. What happened back in January 2020? Both British Council and PIAP designed the TP program for teachers of English. This was the first time TP, technical professional English teachers, were supported in their training to be able to integrate the TP majors curricular contents with the teaching of English. The main aim then was to open new opportunities to TP English teachers and develop the confidence and skills that they need in order to achieve the best learning outcomes for TP students. To this day, this program, the TP program, has offered almost 700 TP English teachers the possibility of attending a 2.5-month British Council Teaching for Success online course that was then followed by the planning of a unit of work the TP English project, expressly designed for their TP English courses, and which was shared in a national online event called Good Practice Day last year. Now, I would like to pass on to the next slide. Let's talk about 2021. The good news was that in March 2021, and as part of a joint program from the British Council in Chile and the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office, together with the PIAP, a selected group of TP English teachers were invited to participate in the CLIL online program. This was a new one, an online tutor-led training program that combines online training activities, both synchronous and asynchronous, as well as tutorials and a portfolio-driven project. This two-component course aims to support teachers in the implementation of improved teaching practices and in the development of reflective and collaboration skills. So back in January, the British Council in Chile opened a call for proposals for the online training activities. And you know what? 31 institutions submitted their training programs for evaluation. The institutions received detailed information about the training program requirements. For example, the aim of the program, provide participants with tools and strategies to use CLIL, content and language integrated learning methodology, in their TP English lessons. The methodology had to be a hands-on approach. Participants should be able to design their CLIL lesson plans and their assessment instruments, because their learning outcomes consisted of being able to develop practical classroom skills to design and deliver CLIL lessons and to design assessment tasks for a specific CLIL context. Very ambitious indeed. However, very successful. This course would have 5 modules, with a 0 module for the orientation into the platform. Module number 1 to answer the key question, what is CLIL, aims and rationale, CLIL, the relationship between CLIL and second language acquisition. A second module focused on planning, and mainly to find out how to cater for the language demands of subject contents. A third module about planning as well, but now more oriented to material selection and adaptation, and also focused on activity types for teaching and assessment. And the last module was mainly focused on the delivery of CLIL lessons, mainly strategies dealing with scaffolding, monitoring, and giving feedback. 14 proposals were shortlisted from a total of 31. The British Council Assessment Committee was impressed by the number of outstanding proposals they received. The call then had to prioritize, first of all, the institution's training knowledge. And that's how Norwich Institute for Language Education, also known as NILE, a long-established specialist institution focusing on professional development for teachers, trainers, and other language education professionals, was selected as the delivery training partner. March 2021, the 3-week intensive online course was delivered by NILE, started right at the beginning of March, and that was stage 1 of this new CLIL online program. The selected 25 participants were engaged in a number of activities, which included their attendance to weekly live sessions, their participation in forum discussions, and the submission of assignments. Their tutors, the NILE specialists Carol Robinson and Jason Skeek, provided constant support and feedback to their posts and their assignments. 24 out of the total number of participants completed the course requirements and obtained their course certificate. Of course, there was yet the stage 2 to complete. That one started mid-April, and it consisted in the design of a portfolio with 5 tasks in which the participants were invited to reflect on what they had learned in the NILE online course and engage in a variety of activities to promote reflective practice. Of course, in order to bring the CLIL online program to a close, another good practice day was planned. And this is what we are here for today. 3 selected participants will showcase the way they have managed to integrate the teaching of the TP contents and the English language contents, applying the CLIL techniques and strategies that they explored during the training program. We are so very happy to have them here. Now, over to you, Alicia.
Thank you, Silvia, very much. And well, it's time to introduce our participants, the stars of today's Good Practice Day. So the first presenter is Pauline Espinosa, Escuela Industrial Guillermo Richards Cueva de la Corporación SNA Educa, San Felipe, Región Valparaíso. Paulina is teacher of English with a degree in education science. She works at Guillermo Richards Cueva's Technical School in San Felipe of the SNA Educa Corporation since 2013, where she's a head teacher, teacher of English, and the head of the English department. Paulina today will share her experience with the CLIL course in the TP English lessons. While Paulina is presenting, you can post your questions in the chat that will be answered at the end of this event. So over to you, Paulina.
Thank you, Alicia. Thank you very much. So I'm going to share my screen. I think that here you can see it. Yep. There we go. I hope you can see my screen. So first of all, welcome to all of the teachers that are watching our presentation today. This is a very special day for us because this is the first time, as Miss Silvia Retarelli mentioned before, this is the first time that we have this specific improvement in our learning as teachers of technical and professional schools. So, well, welcome to all of the teachers that are watching our presentation, also to the Pacific Alliance. And well, I want to talk about the CLIL experience that started last year and end up this year. So the first thing that I would like to tell you that we are very happy because this was a very, very important opportunity to us as teachers, as I mentioned before, but technical and professional area, because we were teaching without knowing that you can integrate not only the content, not only the language, but you can mix everything here without letting important things behind. And these are very important methodologies and strategies that we have been learning since last year. So this is a very, very good opportunity to everyone, to every teacher, especially in high school. So I want you to know about a little about the teacher's context. I teach in a TP school here in San Felipe, Chile. And I have students between 14 and 18 years old. I have 10 classes, and each class has 45 students, which is a lot. It's a little crowded. And the school belongs to the SNA Educa Corporation. They have around 20 schools all over Chile, all of them technical professional schools. We have been working with PBL methodologies, among other methodologies, since 2016. But this is the first time that teachers of English are taking this amazing experience of the CLIL improvement in our technical area with English. So nowadays we are teaching online through Meet and classroom platforms, as you might be doing the same due to pandemic. So that's a little bit about the context. Now I want you to know what was the process that we have been through since last year. So first, in July last year, we took the application on English Open Doors. So you have to be checking the English Open Doors webpage. So we started the process there, filling the form of the application. Then in August, we began with the TP training program that I'm going to tell you more about about it later. On December, we started with the GPD final project presentation, and in February, the application for CLIL diploma, which is now. Then in March, beginning of CLIL diploma, that's the application that we begin in March this year, 2021. April, the portfolio, and now the final presentation. So that was the process, the macro view of this process. So the TP training program, as I mentioned before, uh, explains a lot about CLIL, the content and integrated uh, language, so that you can mix both. This is very important for us because we teach not only the language but also content. It might be uh, in a technical area or other areas too. That's why this is so important to us. We have been participating in forums, for example, discussions, live sessions, not only in the platforms. So this is a an important place where you can talk to other teachers to know their realities, their methodologies, and what you can improve according to talking to others. That's the key, I think, because sometimes we know what to do according to our reality, but what happens if you have another teacher with the different reality that has new ideas? You can complement them. So that's a good space to talk about it. So we also learn about curriculum unit and lesson planning. And I can tell you here that after all of, as you can see here in the presentation, we have been learning a lot. This is a very important process, very detailed, but specific at the same time, with a lot of material that you can find it in the platforms, and also the teachers send you this material. It's interesting, very interesting and helpful. But I want to tell you that the strategies, the techniques, methodologies, these same discussions and sessions online with your teachers and also with other colleagues, um, are the key of this whole process. And also, well, at the end of this TP training program, we had to develop the final project presentation. And that project presentation was focused on the CLIL, in a CLIL 3D CLIL methodology. And here is a wide view of the whole learning process. You not just think about the content, you are focused on students, their needs, their interests, the soft skills, and you're focused on the level of the students. So that allows the teacher to go up. So move forward with all of them. So that's a good strategy that you have to use. So then moving forward, um, we started with the CLIL diploma, and we knew here that you don't have just one model of CLIL, you have three. And you can prove all of them according to the class, according to the students. That's here you have to reflect about what you did, what works, what doesn't work, because sometimes you have a model thinking that you think that it's correct to one group of students, but then you realize that you can change it and you can do it. And that's why this is so I don't know how to explain this, but it's so useful because you don't have to use just one model. You have three of them, and you can adjust that to make it fit to every group of students. So here you can see all the process of the CLIL diploma that started this year, in March this year, and you have to share with other teachers, your colleagues, your teacher that guides you through this process. And then we had to focus on the thinking skills, and also the culture, because we cannot leave that behind. Culture is very important when you are in a learning process. The interests of the students, the the needs that they have, but the culture is very important when you are teaching a new language. So we have here online sessions too. Every model is moving forward, but before you move forward to every new model, you have to write reflections, and that's part of the process of learning where you have to think, okay, I did this part, but maybe I can improve it. How can I improve it? Then you have the scaffolding techniques, which are very uh, it's a new motivation, not just for the students, but also to the teachers, because you can see the process of each student. And also, on the other hand, you have to design a final task and feedback, which is a portfolio. And you can, well, then you're going to receive the link where it's my portfolio. I share that with you, and you can read all the information about this process of this portfolio that has two parts. And it's everything like in a summary in that portfolio. So you have effective questioning strategies for CLIL, for example, which is very important. And you talk about missions and medals. Missions and medals, not just the goal of of the student, but also, okay, here's your mission. This is what you have to improve. And your medal is when you did something very good. So sometimes we think that students only need the grade, the final mark, the final grade, but no, in the process, they need to know where they are weak, where they're failing. So you can tell them, okay, you have a very good pronunciation, but for example, grammar is not okay. You can do this. And you use the scaffolding strategies. Um, Changes that I did in my TP lessons, for example, provide more strategies to allow the students discover their own process of learning. That's amazing how it works in students. Develop lessons plan starting with the student's description, their needs and interests, as I mentioned before, letting students be part of the process. When they know that they're part of the process, they're not going to discuss anything with you like, why am I learning this? Because you already talk with your student and you tell them, okay, let's try to think. I want you to learn this. What is the process that we can have? So together with the student, diversify as much as possible the tasks or evaluations activities in general, apply different types of CLIL, and provide medal and missions. They are very important in the process. The impact on the teaching that I had in my school, first, increased motivations. I can see that in the exit ticket. Maybe you have applied the exit tickets. This is a good way to get more information before the final result of a, I don't know, summative test, the formative part that sometimes we don't take into consideration. It's very important. So exit tickets are a good form, a good way to improve before the summative evaluations, better results, especially in exit tickets. Analyze the results helps me not only to measure what they understood and how clear one was my class, but also provide feedback to reflect and modify teaching and learning. Sometimes we don't want to modify, but it's very important. If you see the process is weak in some part, it is necessary to modification. It's okay. It's better sometimes. They need more than praise. Missions are important for students, more than just, okay, that's okay. But okay, what else? What do I need to improve? And it has been more accurate to plan a PVL with others because focus is clear and it helps to give solutions when difficulties appear in the process itself. That's the impact in my school in every level. So what am I taking away from this experience? It is always possible to improve new techniques, methodologies, and strategies, new terms and key concepts. Keep learning is very important, not just for students, but also for teachers. Reflecting is crucial part of the process. Students are focused to plan an engaging class. It is valid to make modifications where necessary, and the confidence that I have grown professionally. That is something that I am definitely taking away from this experience. I also would like to thank to all the teachers, Sharon Soyas, Carol Robinson, Mr. Jason Skid. They are from the British Council and the Norwich Institute for Language Education also. And of course, Miss Silvia Retaroli, Miss Alicia Artusi from the British Council, Miss Isabel Fraile from Mineduc, and special thanks to all of the departments, British Council, the FCDO of the United Kingdom, Mineduc Chile, and again, NILE, the Norwich Institute Language of Education. So I try to summarize the whole experience in just 10 minutes. I try to do it. I hope I did it well. And this is a very good motivation for all of the colleagues, all of the teachers that sometimes need support with methodologies, with scaffolding techniques. And if you have the opportunity to take this TP training program, do it, because it is a very good opportunity to grow professionally. So thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Paulina, very much. Yeah. So good to know you've taken all this knowledge and you're so motivating, and your students, I'm sure, are motivated in your lessons. So our next participant now is Miguel Alejandro Elgueta Luengo, Instituto Comercial de Linares, Región del Maule. Miguel is committed, reflective, and proactive English teacher, graduated from Universidad Católica del Maule with a degree in education and English language, with more than 4 years of experience in elementary and secondary education, working at nowadays the TP School Liceo Bicentenario Instituto Comercial from Linares, Maule, Chile. Miguel will share his experience with a CLIL course in the TP English lessons. So over to you, Miguel, and post your questions for Miguel in the chat.
Thank you so much, Alicia. Good afternoon, dear audience. I'm going to share my screen in order to begin with my presentation. Okay, this is CLIL for TP teachers, a brief revision of my experience. My name is Miguel Elgueta Luengo. I'm an English teacher of Liceo Bicentenario Instituto Comercial from Linares. And this is my experience. Let's begin. I wouldn't like to start without expressing my gratitude to Maria Jose, Jason, Silvia, Alicia, and all the people who are behind of this amazing initiative, the app, BC as well, and my beloved English department as well. So let's review what this 2-year training program has meant to me. When was my first encounter with CLIL? Well, this happened in 2015. I was studying English teaching training program at Universidad Católica del Maule, and I had to prepare a CLIL lesson for physical education students. The content was basketball, so I had to study the rules, the type of passes, movements, type of shoots, and the session was divided into 3 parts: a warm-up with games and exercises in order to activate the previous knowledge of the students in related to the English, right? Then teaching and practice the key concepts, and finally, students have to produce, to put into practice all the concepts that they have been learning during that class. throughout a match among them. We were working with the listening skill, so it was throughout commands. How did it begin in relation to this course? Well, the CLIL course started last year, okay? At the beginning, we reviewed the methodology, the content and language integrated learning, the principles, the techniques, the different strategies that we could apply with this methodology. Besides the TP booklets, this is important to point out now because I didn't know them, but throughout the activities, throughout the lessons, I had to adapt materials in this, and it was very meaningful for me as a teacher. And the same with the planning, okay, and a clear lesson how to create better learning outcomes and the correct or the appropriate activities for my classes. I want to mention as well the webinars and forums because we shared experiences with my colleagues, with the rest of the students during this course, and it was significant because I could know different realities, different strategies that my colleagues use, and I could implement it in my classes as well. And the assignments, finally, right, in order to produce and assess my learning. The GPD 2020, I have the opportunity to be here again. This is my second GPD. And in the first one, in the previous one, I had to present a programming project based on creating a computer and an operating system. It was a project took from the TP booklet of programming. And it was an activity in order to develop the writing skills in which students have to create a guidebook with a specific computer, the different internal and external components of it, the different applications and programs that they could use, and a brief explanation about how to take care of them in order to avoid damaging them, okay? And the CLIL diploma. Now, what has this CLIL diploma taught me? And thank you so much to NIOC, the Norwich Institute for Language Education. I have improved a lot when planning my classes, as I told you before, the learning outcomes, meaningful activities for each stage of my class. And I could say that it was well received by my students. The same with the strategies to facilitate the understanding of my students. I'm going deeper in the next section about this. Using formative assessments, how to create checklists and rubrics at the moment of assessing my students, medals and missions, collaborative work, and reflective teaching instances. Well, here we have a sample about a CLIL lesson that I implemented in the first term or in the first semester. For example, the learning outcomes. By the end of the class, students will be able to identify the advantages and disadvantages of social networks by reading a short text and creating a poster with 3 advantages and disadvantages about social media, using phrases to express opinion and some connectors. Here we have a CLIL model learning outcome in its 3 dimensions: concepts, language, and procedures. Now the success criteria: extract correct information from the text, use phrases to express opinion, use connectors to link their ideas, and tasks: reading comprehensions activity and creating a poster including advantages and disadvantages regarding the use of social media. This was about the second unit of the curriculum for fourth graders, the media and the message in today's globalized world. What is the main challenge to be faced now? First of all, we do not have hours for technical English. This is the main issue. And most of the colleagues repeated the same during the forums and the webinars that we had. So the idea or the intention that I have is to replace the third unit. It's business time for one of the different TP booklets units. Okay, I work with administration, programming, and accounting. I have 7 4th grades, for example. Collaborative work. This is essential because if we want to implement the CLIL method, we have to turn into specialists because we have to study and prepare ourselves. We have to learn the units, the contents that they deal with in the majors. So it is a big challenge and a big task that we have to complete. And projects, only because of the reality that we are facing nowadays. Just because it is difficult to work in teams with the students online, and not all of them have the possibility to be connected in the classes. How will I continue to improve my students' language skills in my TP lessons? Well, these are the key elements that I can recognize for skills development. And this is the same with the TP booklets, okay? There are lessons and there are activities for listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Apart from the vocabulary, the specific vocabulary that students have to manage at the beginning of the units. And the strategies, because of the wide variety of students that we have in terms of level of English, in terms of the way that they learn, their interests, their motivation, etc. Pedagogical resources. I have been using different platforms like Wordwall, Kahoot, quizzes, and it helped me a lot at the beginning of my classes in order to present the vocabulary, in order to make some feedback, in order to review what we have been doing in the previous classes. We have to create a good classroom environment with the students, that closeness, and they have to be confident. They have to feel confident and comfortable at the moment of speaking. This is a good strategy, and effective feedback. It doesn't matter if it is at the beginning or by the end of the lesson, but we have to do it, and not only by correcting them, but also listen to them, knowing their opinions, sharing with them what we perceive from their work, the meta missions that we were reviewing at the beginning. And how will I continue to improve my teaching? Okay, professional development. Yes, the previous course and this diploma, in terms of the language, methodologies, ICTs, etc. We have to update ourselves, have to prepare for the different scenarios that we have to face. The collaborative work, as I told you before, with the professors of the different specialties. We have to turn into specialists, sorry. The pedagogical reflection, in order to think about what we are doing, to reflect upon what we can improve in the next session, apart from the students' work as well, and the environment related to respect, confidence, and closeness, the same with my students. Final words, Thanks to the previous course and this diploma, my knowledge and my teaching practice has been polished and highly improved, as I have always commented, not only because of the theory that I have learned and complemented, but also because of the experiences shared by colleagues, tutors, and by my students who teach me new things every day and make me feel proud and grateful for the profession I have chosen. Thank you so much for your attention, for the opportunity, and please, if you have the possibility to apply for this course, do it.
Thank you very much, Miguel. It's been a source of inspiration listening to you, and such a good message to say that professional development never ends. Yeah, we're always improving areas, learning and learning. Thank you very much again, Miguel. And now we welcome the third speaker today, the last participant, Carolina Mejías Aravena. She works at Liceo Guillermo Marín Larraín, Retiro, Región del Maule. Carolina is a teacher of English and holds a degree in education and English language. She is a head teacher and teacher of English of all TP majors from 12th grade at Liceo Guillermo Marín. She has a certificate as a Spanish teacher from Cervantes Institute. She was part of the Pedagogical Innovation Project, TP Training CLIL course, and Apropiación Curricular del Currículum Nacional de Inglés from Ptp over the last years. Carolina today will share her experience with the CLIL course in the TP English lessons. So welcome, Carolina, and please use the chat to post your questions. Over to you.
Thank you, Alicia. As Alicia said, my name is Carolina Mejías, and I am from Retiro. I work at Liceo Bicentenario Guillermo Marín Larraín. I'm going to present now about my experience with CLIL. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, first of all, I want to welcome to all of you. And I'm going to say that I'm really glad I'm part of this Good Practice Day. And also, I'm really glad to have the opportunity to be part of these two courses about CLIL. Last year, I was part of the Engaging with CLIL course by the British Council. And through the online course, I was able to develop different skills to benefit the TP major students from 11th and 12th grades. I got familiar with the CLIL framework, TP major curriculums, TP major booklets, and many new concepts to implement in my future experiences as an English teacher in contextualized lessons. I learned the skills such as curriculum, unit and lesson planning, task design and implementation, supporting output and interaction. I also learned how to teach vocabulary, adapt materials to increase the students' lexicon, and evaluate authentic materials. I had to develop different assignments, such as design a contextualized unit and analyze the TP booklets. During the course, at the end, we had a project. And in this project, I had the opportunity to put everything into practice using one of the TP booklets. We had to choose one project from one of the TP booklets. I chose the accountant major, and students had to create an employee contract. It was very interesting. Students were really motivated. This year, I was part of the CLIL course by Nile. And in this course, we had the opportunity to develop different areas, such as identifying challenges teachers and learners in CLIL context may have We also developed effective CLIL activities. We planned effective CLIL lessons and formative assessments. We use effective questioning strategies for giving feedback and checking for understanding in CLIL lessons, among other areas. I feel that during this course, I learned that it's very important for learners to feel motivated when learning a second language, and working with activities related to their majors helps them to accomplish it, right? I also learned that effective feedback can improve learners' confidence, self-awareness, and enthusiasm for learning. Finally, I learned that collaborative work is a main factor when teaching to TP learners. Specialists from the different majors can provide us materials in English, which learners might need in their majors or different subjects, right? At the end of the course, we had to create a portfolio. We had 5 different tasks. Okay, the first one was we had to describe our teaching context and think how similar it could be to the context of other teachers. Our second task was to think of areas of our teaching that we would like to try to develop. I chose feedback and collaborative work. The task 3, we had to think of what we can change and what we learned and what we can improve. The task 4, we had to plan 3 lessons, and I chose the nursing TP major, and at the end of the lessons, they had to create a poster about environmental diseases. The task number 5 was a reflection, and I said that it was a great experience and that I will continue improve my students' language skills in my TP lessons by creating more motivating tasks, working with specialists from the different majors in order to adapt the English lessons and work with tasks, lessons, and materials more relevant for my students. As a final reflection, after participating in these both courses about CLIL, I can say that a good teacher must always evaluate her or his practice and reflect on how she or he can improve. This evaluation must involve assessing learners' results and opinions and collaborative work. I also believe it's important to try new things, research new teaching techniques, and adapt yourself to learners' needs. I definitely will continue to improve my teaching by preparing myself about different topics related to TP majors, creating interesting and useful activities in order to make students feel English as an important tool for their life. I will also try to use different strategies and of course include CLIL in my TP in my TP lessons. I think that being part of this course, these 2 courses, was very important, and I was able to see this TP teaching in a different way. Okay, so I'm really glad, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Carolina, indeed, for all the strategies you shared, for the reflections, for showing how important professional development is in the language teaching and learning. So everyone, if you want more information, please contact Mineduc and British Council to their email boxes that will be shared in the chat. tpenglish@mineduc.cl, info@britishcouncil.cl. Now, after listening to these three participants who have so many ideas, so motivating to listen to them, also their energy and enthusiasm, that we invite you now to visit the Mineduc and British Council websites, where you will find resources and more information. This is important news. It's an important announcement for those who are interested in applying for the next coming TP training course. The second call for application for online course TP training 2021 is already open until August the 16th. August the 16th. So remember, the link will be shared in the chat. This is now time for questions and answers. If we have any questions, please let me know and we will share the, Sylvia will now moderate this part with questions from the audience to the speakers, her students. Congratulations to Sylvia again, congratulations on her work and what was shown today in the participants' presentations. Over to you, Sylvia.
Thank you, Alicia. There are very interesting comments, and there is a question I feel everybody keeps asking themselves. Andrea asks, how many hours must a teacher have to perform a good CLIL lesson? I think that Miguel started talking about this issue. Miguel, would you like to take this up? And I bet Carolina and Paulina will also have something to say. Over to you, Miguel.
Okay, thank you, Sylvia, and thank you for the question as well. Well, this is my opinion, okay? But currently, I have 2 hours of English per week in my school. However, I am working online, so this class turned into 60 minutes just. And the problem is that I have to cover all the units and contents of the curriculum. So I don't have the possibility to implement these TP lessons from the TP booklets with my students regarding the different majors. So I think that 4 hours would be enough in order to implement a different lesson plan or for the CLIL method and the TP booklets.
Okay, thank you, Miguel. I wonder whether Paulina or Carolina would like to take this up as well. Paulina?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, thank you for the answer. I think that's very interesting. Well, I want to tell you that, yeah, as Miguel mentioned, 4 hours would be a range, an amount of time that it's destined to focus on this CLIL. But more than how many hours, I would like to tell you that this is a process. So sometimes maybe you have the change to apply just one part of the CLIL methodology. You can go step by step doing this. So maybe in the process you're going to find out that maybe you're going to spend just 1 hour to focus on one type of CLIL. If you're going to focus on the 3D CLIL, for example, you're not going to spend as many hours as you think. So try to think about about CLIL as a process, and as many chances you have to apply CLIL, you're going to notice that you're going to spend less and less hours, and it's going to be something natural, part of your methodology. So yeah, that's my answer.
Thank you, Paulina. Yes, it's all about feeling identified with the main tenets and the rationale, and then things just come out more naturally. Alicia, over to you.
Thank you, Sylvia. Well, I think if there are no further questions, then we can close this event. It's been great. Congratulations, everyone. So hope to see more people in the next practice day. Yeah, in the coming next practice day. So thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.